everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of Stop the BS.
It's hate week.
If only we could have done this in person, because that would have been like way cooler. But we're not
We
uploading this on Friday. We got to get it up today.
we'd
So,
probably be beating each other up also at the same
yes,
time.
if you
So
guys don't know, if you've never listened to Stop the BS, I'm Connor Burns, along with me, Ryan Swank, Swantowski, whatever you want to call him. Don't call him by his last name, though. I don't know if you saw that clip. Don't call him by his last name. I'll explain that in a second if you do not see that, because that's the funniest thing ever right now. But um, I'm a Bears fan. Ryan's a Texans fan. Bears Texans Sunday Night Football in Houston this week. I am flying out to Houston, meeting up with the boy, going to the game. It is going to be such a fun time. I cannot wait. We have a whole weekend planned just being in Texas. I'm going to sweat my ass off. Going from a beautiful 60 degrees every day here to the Texas heat is not going to be very fun, but the rest of the weekend will be very fun. Swank, what's up, man?
thank you. Great intro, Connor. Great intro. I'd like to say a few things here. We are more than just fans. We essentially, you know that meme where the guy's watching the game and he's like, bro thinks he's on the team. That's essentially us and what we do. We are diehard fans here. This game means everything to us. This is essentially our mini Super Bowl. At least it is to me. I'm sure it is to you. Just between
I'm
us,
excited. I'm excited.
not between Texans Bears per se, between us. But if you're new here, welcome to the show. This is where you want to be for NFL and college football throughout the season. You don't want to miss it. And we
Yes.
have an unbelievable weekend planned here.
And we
Mr.
also, I forgot to mention, the one thing I forgot to mention in the intro is we do have a special guest coming on for the second half of the show. Nico Elite Takes on TikTok. What our goal is to have a guest picker every single week go through the NFL slate with us, and he will be coming on for the last 30 minutes to make his picks for Sunday along with us. Sunday, Thursday, Monday, the whole weekend with us. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
why'd you do a little shirt raise if you're
Dude,
watching?
I always do the shirt raise on here. Look at I got my whole Houston teams right here. Texans, Astros, Rockets, all in one. You know
There
how
you
we
go.
roll. But all
But
right, man.
the
Let's break
reason why I
down. Let's break it
said
down.
The reason why I said don't say my these dude, you just have to hear about this. So, are you familiar with any of the Barstool Chicago guys whatsoever?
Um, Give me some names. But I think
Eddie.
so.
Eddie, he's a bigger guy. Eddie, he's the most famous
Familiar.
guy in probably all Chicago sports media, right?
Is Mincy one of them?
Mincy is just an idiot. No, he is not.
Okay. I saw him. I saw his face for the first time the other day. I was like, what?
But listen to this,
Okay.
right? So this guy Eddie, he gets invited to go on 670 The Score, which is like the biggest Chicago sports radio show. It's been there for forever. My dad listens to it all the time. And there's this guy named Dan Bernstein who's been there for years, right? The show is called The Bernstein and Home Show. And the guy has voiced multiple times how he hates Barstool, all of this, right? So Eddie got invited on to 670 The Score. And the Dan Bernstein, the guy who hates him, he's on from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Eddie is going on at 2, but they cross paths during the 5 minutes of when they were making the transition, right? And Eddie goes, "Yeah, Bernstein." And then he goes, "Do not call me by my last name. I don't know you like that." And Dave Portnoy and all of Barstool has been in an all out just attack on this man. Everything, they're digging up dirt on him. It is, if you have time on Twitter, just look up Dan Bernstein and you'll have a couple laughs to yourself. It is very, very funny.
How
But
long
yeah,
ago was this?
it happened like last week, but the video just started circulating from it like yesterday.
Okay.
And it has been everywhere. And well, I mean, all the people who listen to the radio, who listen to 670 The Score, are all like the old heads in Chicago, you know? But like all the young people, they fucking hate them because they're just, I mean, except for Danny Parkins, who got signed by Fox and now he's like mainstream media, which he was a cool guy, but the rest is just interesting. But yeah, back into this weekend. It's going to be a great time. We're going to not one, but two football games this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Going to UTSA on Saturday. Should be a
Mm-hmm.
great game.
Oh, it should be great. Connor's flying in on Friday to Austin. We're gonna have a good time here at the University of Texas, and fun time Friday night. It's gonna be great. And then Saturday we are going to the UTSA game, 6 p.m. game. Not gonna be very hot. You're gonna be surprised. I think you caught a nice weekend here because the previous weekends have been hot. This weekend, let's see. Bro, you're chilling. Yeah, kind of chilling. Saturday is cloudy with a low
Okay.
74. The high is still
Okay.
96, but like that won't hit. That won't hit. We're looking like upper 80s, cloudy during kickoff. That's fine.
Okay. All
That's
right.
fine.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. As long as
We'll
I'm not
be
dying, I'll
we'll
be
be having a
okay.
good time. We'll be putting some bets down. That's gonna be awesome. And then Sunday morning we'll get our asses up. We drive straight to Houston, watch some of the games, hang out with the fam, go straight to NRG Stadium, tailgate for a little while, and bada boom, bada bing, bada bang. There we go.
Ready to roll, man. I'm excited. I'm nervous for this game because I feel like that's a good way to start off. Bears on Sunday. I was there. The energy at Soldier Field was electric. It was a great time. I mean, I had that one video. Shout out to my boy Jim because that's who I filmed it for.
Jim.
And then Tyreek Stevenson pick six, and that video just went everywhere.
How about this?
But
Wait. Do you recognize this?
oh my God, oh my God. I said, oh my God, like 10 times. Dude, I was like, I was a lot of drinks deep after the Buccaneers
No.
tailgate.
I was more referencing Will Levis.
Oh yeah, no, that is one of the funniest pictures in a
That's
long.
hilarious.
That is so funny. But um, I expected rookie hiccups out of Caleb Williams. Obviously, anybody would. His first start, especially. But that was.
You think he was like that as well when his video got released? You know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're
Yeah,
not seeing this right now
yeah,
and you're just on audio, might have to go throw on the YouTube just to see what we're doing on here. But
that sounded good. But um, yeah,
oh man.
The Bears' offense was very interesting. And the biggest thing that I said is I thought that going into that game, I thought that I was going to see the new look Chicago Bears, right?
Mhm. Yep.
We saw the same old Bears. That was the same old Chicago Bears. There's only one other team that you could put up the stat that the offense scored 2 points and the defense and special teams scored 22, and it would make sense. The only other team that would work with is the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's it. Anybody else, you're like, what the fuck happened that game? But with the Bears and the Steelers, you're just like, yeah.
Steelers
That was
especially. Steelers especially. I mean, Caleb, I didn't watch the game. Obviously, I was focused on my own game, but obviously your defense looked fantastic. I
okay.
will say, I'm not trying to hate, but I will say the Tennessee Titans, I have them very towards the bottom of the AFC, probably at the end of the year. This was a game I thought you guys would, kind of take from the punch and just hang on. And it was vice versa. It was you got punched in the mouth and had to fight all the way back. I thought Caleb Williams, some magic would have to happen. It didn't. I'm honestly amazed you guys won this game. I'm sure you're pretty shocked as well.
Yeah.
Um, that all that being said, it's a win at the end of the day. It's a win. Your defense looks great, but Caleb, point. I didn't watch the game, so I need you to tell me, Caleb Williams, what went down. Obviously, first game as a rookie. I'm not here to hate. I'm just here to ask you, what did it look like?
The Bears' interior offensive line is a big problem. Like we're talking major problem. And I I don't know if that's fixable. I don't know if there's any way of going about fixing that. It was horrendous. Now, you did say that you had the Titans a bit lower, and I do want to talk about the Titans a little bit because I do think that team is a little bit better than people think. I mean, they were a 7-win team last year and they got better this offseason. So I could see them, being in the race,
Did
like
they
not
win seven last year?
I believe they won 7 last year. Yes.
Did they really?
I think so, yeah. Let me see real
I
quick.
thought they won like five.
I believe they won 7, if I'm
Yeah, that
correct.
sounds right, actually. That sounds right because they didn't pick top five.
Let me just double check myself.
What'd they pick? Like eight?
Oh, they won 6. They won 6. That's my fault.
Okay.
They won 6.
Okay.
So right in the middle of that range, but they did get better this offseason, adding
They
Calvin
did.
Ridley pieces. So I expected them to be a bit better, obviously, but it's just the interior offensive line was miserable. And with that, couldn't get the run going, couldn't get the pass game. Caleb, he had a couple throws where he was just Caleb, that was the weird part about him. He was calm He read through his reads. It wasn't any mechanics things.
Yeah.
It was just a couple throws that were a little bit off. They weren't there. And
Yeah.
it's not like he was just throwing interceptions. He didn't throw any picks, and he wasn't throwing anything close to an interception. It was just a couple throws that were off. He should have had a passing touchdown. Keenan Allen was Keenan Allen and just dropped it. So, I mean,
Classic.
that's classic.
Classic.
And now he's banged up too. So, which he was already banged up going into the game too. Which DJ
Okay.
did say that he should be fine. He's like, yeah, he's just an old man. That's what DJ
Okay.
said.
So let me get this straight here though. Rome Odunze goes down. Thank you, Velus Jones Jr. That dude is just I don't every time I hear of that guy, it's he's done something bad for you guys. Was he the
It's
one
just
with the chain? Was he the one with the chain?
shame.
Who he ripped off the chain and punched the Eagles player?
No. That was Javon Wims. That was a while ago. That was
Wims.
a while.
That
No,
was hilarious.
Ellis, we drafted him. I think it was 2022.
Okay.
2022, we drafted him. It was either then or it was
Do you
either
guys
then.
still have Wims?
No, God,
Damn it, dude. That clip
God.
is one of the funniest clips I've ever seen.
That is. But yeah, Velas just decided when he got kicked off the ball to kick it to the other team, which was really helpful, and really helped us out. And then he got pulled off the special teams unit, and DeAndre Carter goes out there and has a 67-yard return, like his first return.
Man, you guys snagged him from us. That dude is explosive, but I'm
Yeah.
telling you, he's gonna fumble a few times for you. That's just what you're gonna
Yeah, he
get from
probably
him.
will, but he's fun. He was fun.
He was a Texan back in I think 2 years ago, back in our dog days, and he had some burst, but then the fumbles will come. Sadly, they will.
But I'll take that over Velas Jr. kicking the ball to the other team. And Velas was used on offense a little bit. I mean, he did his thing, and now we do need him because he might have to play receiver this week in Houston, which is not a good thing if Rome and Keenan are both out.
Dude, if Rome and Keenan are both out for you, brother.
Not
What's the
good.
line on this game? Did it come out? What's the
Rome
line?
is like guaranteed out. Bears are +6.5.
That's exactly what I thought it was gonna be.
Rome is guaranteed out. I mean, he's week to week with. Thank God it was the lowest case scenario, and it was a MCL sprain, so it's not anything bad. It's kind of
Yeah,
like
good.
it's kind of like Jordan Love, but like less worse. If you get what I'm saying, like, he should be back pretty much soon. But
Okay, good.
Keenan should play. I mean, he's just a little bit banged up, so he should be fine. But yeah,
Yep.
Bears overall. You can beat the Tennessee Titans playing a game like that. You could beat a lot of teams in the NFL playing a game like that. You can't beat the Houston Texans in Houston playing football like that. So
No chance.
they better get this offense to figure it the fuck out and be ready to roll Sunday night.
Damn straight.
That's the best way to put it.
Damn straight, man. In all honesty, I thought it was gonna be 6.5. Even if I saw a 7.5, it wouldn't have shocked me. Especially with no Rome, and if Keenan ends up being out, that's a big deal. That's a really big deal. Then you're down to DJ Moore and wide receivers. Like that's kind of it. That's kind of it.
But hey,
So-
also shout out to Darrell Taylor, who we traded for from the Seahawks for a 6th-round pick 2 weeks ago. That kid had himself a fucking game.
You're talking about D lineman, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he was back there the whole game for a 6th-round pick. Even that one game makes it worth it right there. That makes it worth it. He also had a strip sack too. Like that makes it worth it. But all right,
Nice.
now
Let's move into some major topics
I
from
talked
week one.
about all defense. Now the other side of the spectrum in a 29-27 game, Texans win. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. I'll keep it relatively quick here. I'm gonna be honest. I thought we were gonna win the game. Never in my mind did I think we were gonna lose the game. Even when we went down, even when Richardson was throwing freaking 60-yard nukes. That is one of the greatest throws I've ever seen in my life. I know. Have you seen what I'm talking about? The Anthony Richardson throw to Alec Pierce.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Dude, that is one of the great. You know, this is the third longest air passing yard throw in the history of StatCast.
Yep.
64 yards in the air. Bro ran into his own player, stumbled, and just chucked it. And it was beautiful. Anthony Richardson's arm is unbelievable. The dude, if he can figure out a little bit more of his accuracy issues, is going to be lethal in this league. Absolutely lethal. He is a truck as well. He can run right over you if he really wants to. He's a Jalen Hurts type of guy that can throw deeper than Jalen Hurts can. So I knew the Texans were going to win this game from the gun. Stephon Diggs 2 touchdowns, but the narrative with him, only 10 air yards. Who the fuck cares? Dude had 2 touchdowns. All these like sites, on Instagram, whatnot, want to push the Stephon Diggs agenda so hard in your face that he's one, not happy, and two, not playing well. And the dude had literally 2 touchdowns in his first debut.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
That's pretty good. The one thing that I'd say for us going into this week is that Bears defense, that Bears secondary especially is fucking cooking right now. So it's going to get really interesting because
It's been one week, but sure, they're playing great. They're playing great. That's fine.
that secondary is
Um,
real interesting. Versus, I think that this game is going to be a very low scoring game because of that Bears defense.
you
It's
think
going to
so?
be, I think so. That
Okay.
it's going to be fun. It's going to be a dogfight. I'm very
Let me,
excited.
let me keep going here. Let me keep going here, and then we'll wrap up and we'll talk the rest of week one.
Yeah.
Um, I'll keep it relatively short. CJ Stroud, his stat line was fantastic. And it's incredible for me to say that that was one of the worst, if that's even a word, worser games I've seen CJ Stroud play.
Mm.
Wasn't as accurate as you would, maybe think. Kind of missed a few balls. He had a few deep balls that were underthrown. Regardless of that, man, he still balled out, was clutch in the moment. Nico Collins, absolute fucking dog. Puts the game away, deep ball threat. He is fantastic. I think he's one of the most underrated wide receivers in the league by a mile. And Texans found a way to get it done. It was a sloppy game. It was sloppier than I wanted it to be. That's week one. It was ugly. The defense, what is, you telling me to pause? Is that why?
That just
Yes.
got this just got
Yep.
really interesting as you just
Yep.
kept going with that.
Okay. Anyways, the deep balls that Anthony Richardson was throwing, some of them were lucky, some of them were not. Secondary just needs to calm down with those deep balls. Either pick them off, bat them down, figure it out, and we'll be good to go. Outside of that, we looked good, and I'm excited. I'm excited for week two. We look good. We look good.
There you go. All right. We talk Bears, we talk Texans, and now the next game that I feel like we just have to get into immediately was a Sun game, noon game. Guess what game I'm talking about right now?
Sun game, noon game.
Sunday
I'm
noon game
I'm
tonight.
thinking you're talking Patriots.
I'm talking the New England Patriots versus
Yep.
Cincinnati Bengals. What the fuck? What the fuck, dude? Joe Burrow, I mean, week one Burrow is a real thing, but he looked like dog shit. The Bengals as a whole just looked like dog shit. Like, obviously, I didn't even watch this game. I went back and watched some of the highlights, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on, man?
Yeah.
Because all I had at the Bears game, all I have for the rest of the league to see what's going on around the NFL is right in front of us, one of those like small video boards, and they have the NFL scores. They keep updating them, and I just keep seeing them scroll through. I'm like, all right, the Bills are down, but they'll come back. Vikings are doing their job. The Saints are killing the Panthers. What the fuck is going on in Cincinnati? How have they not come back yet? And like in the fourth quarter during a TV timeout, I'm looking at what is going on. How I don't even know what to say about this one, dude. It's just
Yeah.
like it's ridiculous. It's a bunch
Yeah.
of dog shit. This Bengals team, it, I'm not surprised now. No, I'm saying this really pissed off because they really fucked me in a lot of ways, not winning
Yeah.
this football game. And I was
Yeah.
very pissed off. Um, but my buddy, who's AFC North fan, shout out to Josh Berman, love you, brother. He picked the Bengals to finish last place in the AFC North this year. And I was kind of like, I don't get what you're saying. My eyes are open. I'm not fully listening yet, but my eyes are fucking open. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely a wake up call, not only to the fucking Bengals fans, but to us as well. I was watching, what was it, NFL Network the other week, Kyle Brandt, Peter Schrager, love those guys. I actually really like that show. I like what they do a lot. But I think a lot of them had some Bengals making the playoffs, maybe making a little run. I've seen some other major
I
sports
mean, I think
figures.
that basically everybody has Bengals making the playoffs, at least a lot of
Ah,
them.
you'd be surprised. But some
Yeah.
of them even had their Bengals as a Super Bowl pick coming into out of the AFC. I don't know if it's one of those guys, but some major media figures. And you see this team week one go up against the bottom team in the AFC. This is the worst team in the AFC, the New England Patriots. Because the Giants are just awful, and they're in obviously in the NFC, and the Panthers as well. So it's absolutely a wake up call. And Joe Burrow, I don't know if his wrist is fully healthy. I don't know if you saw those videos of him rolling his wrist on the sideline, looking down at it, not even really being able to fully hold on to a Gatorade bottle.
Yeah.
All these things. He's got the white tips or the white hair. I don't know what's going on. he's losing the aura. It's happening. He's losing it. He's
Yeah.
losing it. It's a little bit of a panic time. In honesty, I know it's week one, but that is a very, very bad week one loss. And you only scored 10 points. You scored 10 points with Joe
10
Burrow
points
and
against
Jamar Chase.
a rookie head coach, and I believe a rookie defensive coordinator, and one of the worst rosters in the NFL, and you put up 10 points.
It's unbelievable.
And
I
you know
don't
what
know.
they say, the Patriot way. The Patriot way.
It's unbelievable. Gerard Mayo
Yeah.
reminds me of a young D'Amico Ryans. Again, a few years out for sure, but reminds me of the yep, right behind him. Yep, Patriots, very nice. um, and like they just have a lot going on. T. Higgins didn't even play, hurt himself before week one. Jamar Chase is bitching over there for a new contract. Plays only gets what 60 yards.
Yeah.
They lose Joe Mixon. They lose DJ Reader. I'm sorry. It's been 1 week. I'm already hitting a slight panic button here. Who do they play? We'll have to see who they play week 2. I'm very curious. Let's see. Dude, they're at Kansas City.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. Brother, they're starting 0-2.
Unless they have the biggest bounce back game ever and get everybody back on the wagon. That's
I will tell you what.
wow.
If there's any one guy that can go into Kansas City and beat him, that we've seen, it is Joe Burrow.
It is Joe Burrow. Wow.
But I'm already pressing the slight panic button here on the Bengals.
Yeah. Hey, the Chicago Bears have the Carolina Panthers second round pick this year. I think it's almost safe to say the Bears will have the 33rd pick in this year's NFL draft.
Yeah, let's talk Saints Panthers for like 20 seconds here.
Ow.
Pure domination. Just pure domination. Derek Carr played fantastic. Every Saints little piece was used. Kamara was used greatly. Raheem Shaheed was used greatly. Jawan Johnson was used greatly. These are all of the classic Saints role players that were utilized in a big way. And their defense obviously looked fantastic. And the glaring issues of the Panthers, not only from a football team, but from an organization as a whole, is just hard to watch.
I think the saddest part about this game for Panthers fans especially is this game specifically showed that all the issues with Bryce Young that were there last year are back again this year. And I mean, it's only week one. Hey, week one is the biggest liar. Week one is the biggest overreaction of them all. This is the way it always goes. But at the same time, man, it just Carolina Panther football. You're down. You lost by 37 to the Saints. Like, man, even in a divisional rival game, you're supposed to keep those close no matter who you are. And it's
also the Saints. Like I thought the Saints were going to finish third in the division. They still might.
Oh, they still probably will.
They probably will. But I mean, 37 points.
Yeah, that was nuts. We're
Next
gonna do a
game.
quick recap on these two. Thursday night, Friday night. Start off with Thursday. Go.
Thursday night, that was indeed Ravens Chiefs. How about Isaiah Likely back of the end zone? Oh my God, will they tie it up? No, they won't because his foot was out of bounds. Crazy way to end the game. Great game. Xavier Worthy, my UT boy, showing off the speed out the gate. Dude is a fucking weapon. I don't know why. Why did Buffalo let him go there? Why? What are they thinking?
I don't know.
What are they doing?
Dude.
It's classic Buffalo fashion.
2.0 is crazy.
It's classic Buffalo fashion. Xavier Worthy, his speed alone, just makes him an absolute and consistent threat. And you saw that. You see Lamar. To me, Lamar Jackson in this game was playing a little timid. I don't know what you saw from him. He still played great.
Yeah, he was.
I kind of saw him second guessing a little bit. You know, would go to run, would kind of drop back, like, well, no, should I pass? Then we'll go to run. He played good. Just not good enough. And the classic Lamar Jackson losing to the Chiefs happens once again.
Yeah. And God, it's just Lamar. You had a wide open Zay, the play before the Isaiah Likely catch, you had a wide open Zay Flowers standing in the end zone. And he missed him. He completely missed that pass. Then the toe, none of that would have been the talk of the town. None of that would have mattered at all. But
this is just how these games go. When it's Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, I feel like Lamar Jackson, every fucking time he plays them, has a chance to do it. He has a chance to tie it. He has a chance to keep it close, and he doesn't do it. It's one play. It takes one play, and he can never do that one play. I'm not trying to hate on Lamar. He's a fantastic player, but he can never get it done against them, and that's a fact.
Yep. All right. Friday night, Packers Eagles. The Eagles.
Barkley, 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 Barkley.
Saquon Barkley is a stud. He is who we thought he was. He is a stud, and he's back.
And yeah, I took the Eagles here to win this game, and he's transformed this team into a beast. This team is already very good. They now have taken that step up because when you can have Hurts and Barkley and AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert all in the field at one time, it's very, very hard to stop that. You could put up fucking 40 points and the Eagles can still outscore you. That's the problem. And that was evident. That was very evident. And they found a way to get it done. Barkley with 3 touchdowns. AJ Brown had a great game. Hurts played it interestingly.
But he did his job at the same time.
He had some turnovers and he had times look sloppy. Week 1 rust. I'll just call it week 1 rust. He did his job. Eagles win by 5. Jordan Love out probably 4 weeks.
3-4 weeks, yeah, around there. But the Packers have somewhat, no, they got a pretty rough schedule. And now
They have a rough schedule. And take this in mind. 2 weeks ago, they traded for Malik Willis. You got a quarterback now coming in who's not good. Off of 2 weeks with this brand new team. Could Green Bay start 1-3? Could they start 0-4?
I'd love to see it.
They play the Colts next week.
I would absolutely love to see it. Yeah, and the Colts, they're going to come back with vengeance, and they might beat the Pack by like 14. They might. Yeah. You might beat them by like 14.
All right, let's rattle some off here because we got Nico coming on soon here.
Just a quick laugh at the Giants. You guys suck.
How about
you suck?
Exactly. Giants suck. I called this game perfectly. I asked G-Fed what the spread was. He gave it to me, and I told you my eyes went bing, and I said, take the fucking spread. And my God, why are the Giants only a 1-point underdog? They suck. They suck. I will be betting against their spread all year long.
Yes. All right, moving down the list. Justin Fields. Hey, hello. Justin Fields goes in there as a Steeler, gets a win in Atlanta, 18-10. Atlanta, they'll be back. It was grimy Steelers football, not a single touchdown. Those are all field goals, those 18 points.
Absolutely. Quick point on Vikings. Sam Darnold played fantastic. I know it's the Giants.
Yeah.
But you get that Sam Darnold every week, this Vikings team can win 9-10 games. He's going to play like that every week.
They're competitive. They're competitive with Sam Darnold. But, Steelers, that defense was unbelievable, too. TJ Watt, what a fucking game, dude. He was just insanity. All right, moving down.
Real quick, did you see Kirk? Did you see Kirk?
No.
Saw some videos of Kirk. Dude was not mobile. I mean, there's a difference between like mobile in the sense of, he can tuck and run. He can dip outside the pocket and get the first down. That's not even what I'm talking about. Took snap, turn, throw. Took snap, turn, throw. I mean,
reminded me of a guy who I watched on Monday night. That reminds me of a guy who I watched on Monday night who's the same way.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous. I drafted Drake London, and I'm a little nervous about it. Okay.
Yeah. Cardinals, Bills. Cardinals hung around. They had the Bills for a second. They did. They did. That Cardinals team was competitive. They were very competitive.
You know this was my upset of the week. Fuck.
Yes, it was. And that was a close call, but Josh Allen and the boys come back. And
they get it done. Marvin Harrison Jr., 1 catch for 4 yards. Yeah. Hey, Cardinals. Hey, that's supposed to be like already one of the best receivers in the league. I think you might want to throw to him a little bit more. How about that? Let's try that, Kyler. All right. God damn it.
They should. Yeah, that's ridiculous. But yeah, Cardinals do their thing, but it wasn't enough for the Buffalo Bills. That happens. Jags, Dolphins. Jags were up, I believe it was 14-0, and Dolphins storm back and win this game. Tyreek Hill situation before the game as well. Interesting times in Miami, and they got a big game this week too on tomorrow night against the Bills in Miami.
Yeah,
but Jags were so close, dude. They didn't lose my trust yet. After this game, but they went in there. They only lost by 3, not bad, and had a good game versus Miami. What do you think?
Yeah, good game in Miami. Obviously, crazy situation with Tyreek Hill, Calais Campbell, down in Miami. Fucked up. We'll see how it all plays out. But I'm glad Tyreek was still able to play. Scary situation, bad situation over there. And yet Tyreek Hill still does Tyreek Hill things and scores an 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
Because that's just what he does.
Yeah.
So Dolphins get done. I'm not completely sold on the Dolphins. That's a good win for them. Jaguars are a tough team. Good win for them. A little bit sloppy. Good win for them. And we'll see moving forward. I'm not sold on either of those teams whatsoever. So it should be interesting.
Oh yeah. Quick one, Broncos, Seahawks. Seahawks were in control of this one from the beginning. And I mean, it ended 20-26. Broncos came back a little bit, but the Seahawks, they controlled their destiny.
How about the two safeties? Broncos had two safeties on the Seahawks
Yeah.
in one game. Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But
That is
Geno Smith played well. Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker combined had a phenomenal game. And bada boom, you win.
Donald, man. He's gonna be a hell of a coach.
He will. Agreed.
Yeah. All
Agreed.
right, moving down. Chargers get to business against the Raiders. First look at Harbaugh and Justin Herbert. It was fine. 22 points on the board. They were also in control essentially this whole game after a little stunt in the beginning. So it's good for
Absolutely.
them.
It's
Big game of that afternoon state was Cowboys Browns. How about them Cowboys, man? How
how
about
about him,
them?
Connor? I'm not.
You know, in
It pains me
Cleveland,
slightly, but
and Cleveland wants to burn down. They are done with Watson. They are done with everything with that. It's wild some of the things I've seen from Cleveland this past week.
yeah, yeah.
It's,
Real quick, can you text Nico 5 more minutes so we can wrap this? We'll wrap this up here. I don't want him just to join in the middle of
I mean,
of our.
it's okay. I just told him to join mine.
Okay.
So
Yeah, tell him down to five, and we'll rip it with him. But anyways, a little quick conversation there mid episode. But um, yes, the Cowboys Browns game. I mean, Deshaun Watson already has another lawsuit against them. I don't. The situation over there is just
terrible.
atrocious. You're
Yeah.
paying him so much money. He's playing like shit. He's got
Mhm.
lawsuits, lawsuits, lawsuits. The Browns are a dumpster fire, man. You don't even have Nick Chubb on the field. Dude, I think they're fucking toast. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco's not there. It's Jameis Winston. And as much as I love Jameis, he's not winning you 10 games.
Yeah.
Not happening. Not I think they're done. I know it's week one. I think they're done. If Deshaun Watson is your quarterback, you're done.
Yeah. And then we got last game of the 3 o'clock slate, the Bucks Commanders, and Jaden Daniels probably the only good rookie QB of the day. Like you could say, yeah, he had a pretty good game. But Baker Mayfield, holy shit, dude. Baker Mayfield, 24 for 30, 289 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Now, is this a Baker Mayfield game, or is it that Commander's secondary is brutal? I think it's a little bit of both. I give a lot of props to Baker, but that Commander's secondary just yikes, man. It is not good.
It's not good. And Baker has obviously found his new home. It took him a little while. He bounced around teams, obviously, and three teams actually. And his fourth team, he found it. And I'm obviously not a Baker Mayfield guy. He went to OU, and I have some hatred there. And a little bit of a cocky dude, but he is balling out, and you got to give him his flowers. He's playing fantastic. And the Buccaneers are a team to be reckoned with in the NFC. I mean, they got some pop to them. So good for Baker. Yeah, Commanders still have a lot of holes, especially on the defense. But Daniels will still be figuring it out. McLaurin did not have the first game I thought he would. It's tough defense though. I think him and McLaurin will continue to build their chemistry. We'll see how it goes. But that Commanders defense is rough. Buccaneers get their flowers for sure.
100%. And then probably my favorite game of the weekend. Well, the most fun to watch, in my opinion, the Rams Lions game. This was a great Sunday nighter, goes into overtime, and the Lions just go out there, and David Montgomery is a freight train in overtime, and he just runs it straight down the middle of the field and just kills some. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
What do
uh, absolutely. I really thought this game was going to go over. It did not. But
you,
great game regardless. Matthew Stafford back in Detroit, of course.
yep.
Good game all around. Jamison Williams especially.
And
Hey, Nico.
here he comes in. He could talk with us a little bit. Look at the Mr. Elite takes right there. How we doing, Nico?
Good. How about y'all?
Good, good. We are just wrapping up here with the end of talking about last week's games, and we're talking about The Lions won right now. Swank, finish your thought, what you were saying, if you want to.
Yeah, no, sure thing. Nico, by the way, welcome in, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to have you on. But Jamison Williams game, just Amon Ra only had what? One catch, two catches, maybe somewhere around there. Jamison Williams taking that big step up like the Lions need him to do, and Lions get it done at home in overtime. Great game, great game. One of the best games of the weekend, like you said.
All right, and then the last one of the weekend, which I'm very upset about, the New York Jets and the San Francisco 49ers. Swank was giving me a lot of shit for this because, Nico, if you don't know as well, or anybody listening, I am very high on the New York Jets this year, extremely high, because I love their defense. And this is the first year that I get to watch Aaron Rodgers and not hate his guts every single time he throws the ball. I get to enjoy Aaron Rodgers football. And we saw a few glimpses of the old Aaron Rodgers. There were a couple glimpses there. But yikes. Swank, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm glad we have a witness here in Nico because Nico, I don't know if you saw this clip or not. Connor predicted the Jets to beat the Niners by what was it, Connor? Oh yeah, 14 plus. Was that?
Oh,
right?
I had the Jets. I had the Jets too. I was right there with him probably.
That's far. No way.
Dude, I'm telling you, the Jets.
At least he's honest about it. At least he's honest about it.
They need
come on, guys.
They need to sound Reddick like humans need food and water, man. It's ridiculous.
Come on, guys. You guys really think Aaron Rodgers off the Achilles going into San Fran, even without McCaffrey, they get whomped. They get destroyed. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
guys.
I did not expect their defense to get gushed like that, especially with the run.
That was ridiculous.
I did.
Jesus.
Come on now, guys. Niners get it done in a big way. We'll see if McCaffrey's back next week. And the Jets need to come back in against the Titans for sure.
Yeah. But with that being said, let's get down into probably the best part of the show, and that is making our picks for next week's NFL Sunday. NFL slate, the whole weekend of games. Last week I went 12-4. Swank went 12-4 as well. G-Fed went 10-6. So Nico, that's what your eyes are set on. You got to beat 10-6 to be
okay.
one overall right now. I have no idea who's coming on next week, but we'll just see what happens.
What's our prize going to be here for our guest picker that gets the best record? I don't know. Something.
Maybe like a high five or something.
A special gift from Connor.
I'll take a high five.
Yeah, I really have nothing right now. But
we'll come up with
start it off right away with tomorrow night's game. The Bills going in to play against Nico's Miami Dolphins. You didn't know Nico, Elite Takes, big Dolphins guy. So I think that we'll start with you for this one. Since this is your team, give us a breakdown. What do you think?
Honestly, okay, so I think it is a really interesting matchup because, last week the Cardinals put up a lot of points on the Bills defense, but that was really because the Bills they like to trot out all of this light personnel and they like to stop the pass. And, the Cardinals are really good at running the football with James Conner and Kyler Murray. And, the Dolphins, I don't know if they're going to be able to do that to the same extent. But they do have guys that I just don't think that Buffalo can defend on the outside compared to Arizona. And I just think Miami has designed a lot of their defense to just have more speed, especially at the linebacker position, to hopefully contain Josh Allen a little more. And I was really impressed with new defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver last week. So I think the Dolphins can win this one at home. Both teams looked a little sloppy on one side of the ball. I'd say the Dolphins have some things to clean up offensively. The Bills have some things to clean up defensively. But I feel like the Dolphins have more talent on the end they're struggling with right now, and it can be a bit of an easier turnaround in a short week. So I'm going to take the Dolphins.
There we go. I asked for an analysis, and that's why this guy is very famous on TikTok.
Welcome to the show. Elite Takes.
Jesus, man. All right. Looking into this game, Bills plus 2.5. It's so rough because I like the Dolphins. Whenever we have a guest on, I like to support them and everything. But yeah, I'm going with the Bills here. I think that Josh Allen and the boys, they had a shitty game last week in Buffalo. They barely pulled it out against the Arizona Cardinals, and the defense looked a little bit shaky at times, very shaky. But I'm just taking the better quarterback in this situation. I'm taking Josh Allen and the Bills.
Sorry, that's fair. That's fair. Right. He does it to us every time.
You guys left me in an interesting situation here. We got one going Miami, one going Buffalo. Oh man, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm gonna go with team that had handcuffs behind their back last week. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins here at home. Uh, Buffalo to me has holes on defense, like Connor mentioned. Matt Milano's gone. Nico, help me out here. The Dolphins on defense, you guys lost some key pieces. Did you not?
We lost Christian Wilkins. That was one of our big losses. And Bradley Chubb is still not on the field. So
Yep. Yep. Okay. That was my kind of biggest concern with Miami going into this the start of the season. Wasn't quite sure how their defense would shape up, especially with those two, one gone, one not even on the field. Your best players potentially last year. But I'm still gonna go. I'm still gonna go with the Dolphins here. This game, I feel like you never know how it's gonna go in division in Miami. I'll just take the Dolphins straight up. I think they get it done.
There you go.
there
All
we
right.
go.
Moving in to our first game on the noon slate, we have the San Francisco 49ers coming off a big Monday Night Football win, going to Minnesota against an interesting Vikings team who also had a big win on Sunday versus the New York Giants. Nico, what you think?
This one's tough. I'm really excited for this one because man, oh man, did Sam Darnold look pretty darn good
Mhm.
last week. And it's not
Mhm.
reasonable to think that he can't continue this for a large portion of the year with the situation he's in. I mean, they were giving him all these nice pockets and he's throwing to Justin Jefferson. And I just don't know. I think this is one of those weeks where it could get ugly, especially if they go down a little bit and Sam Darnold gets a little bit out of he's not as comfortable as he was against the Giants because he knows that the game's going to take more to stay within reach. And I just don't know if Minnesota has enough in the secondary to hold San Francisco in check. Even after last week, we just don't really know a whole lot about their defense after facing the Giants. So I'm going to say the 49ers go in there and just overwhelm them a little too much. Although I am impressed by the Vikings and I am higher on them than I was going into the season after last week.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I,
Connor,
I,
what you
I
got?
there. I am 100% in with you on this game. I am taking the San Francisco 49ers. I think they go in there and they get to business. And Vikings hopes are high right now, but I feel like they're going to be crushed a little bit because they might get curb stomped by the 49ers in this game,
It
especially
could
after
get
what I
ugly.
saw Monday night against a New York Jets team like that. CMC not even playing in the run the football all over them. It might get ugly in Minnesota, to say the least. Swank?
Well, you boys might not like this one then. Let me preface this real quick. Niners looked fantastic even without McCaffrey. Mason goes in there, gets a bunch of yards from scrimmage. They dominate both sides of the ball, beat the Jets cleanly. I thought that was going to happen. It happened. That being said, and I'm not a Sam Darnold fan. He looked great, great week one. I know it's the Giants. I get it. But this is going to be my major upset of the week here. I'm going to take Minnesota at home. I don't know if McCaffrey's even going to be on the field or not. If he's not, I especially like it. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings at home to beat the 49ers. I think there's going to be a little bit of a fall off there. Big game at home, week one against the Jets. Woo, a lot going on. Traveling to Minnesota. This is my big upset of the week. I'm going to go Vikings here to take it. Don't know why. I like it. I like it.
And then this is another game that we got to talk about for a little bit. Even though it sounds just like what the hell's going on. The New England Patriots at home versus the Seattle Seahawks. Nico, you lead us off with this one.
I mean, I'll say this about the Patriots. I felt like their offense had zero life, and maybe they do have a little bit of life through the run game. But Seattle is a different animal, I think, than the Bengals defensively. And I think that their secondary, the Patriots secondary, can compete more than Cincinnati's was able to. So it's not going to be an easy game for the Seahawks by any means. But I just don't think that they're going to have enough on offense to keep up. So I'm going to take the Seahawks.
Swank?
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. I haven't seen this game till just now. Patriots obviously surprised, I think, the whole world when they went to Cincinnati and kind of put it to the Bengals pretty good. Their situation over there in Cincinnati is just weird and it feels
Always.
wrong. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. It's just weird. Burrow's, we were talking earlier, Nico. Burrow's got the white hair. Jamar Chase is being a little girl about his contract. There's a lot going on. It's just weird.
Weird. It's weird.
Yes, it is weird.
Yeah,
No
it's
doubt.
100% weird. This is a hard game for me, in all honesty. I think I'm going to go with Seattle on the road. So I'll take the Seahawks here. But give me whatever the under is, give me the under and give me this to just be sloppy and grimy. I don't know how else to put it. But give me Seattle.
Sloppy and grimy. What a
Uh-huh.
way to say it, huh?
Uh-huh.
What a way.
Uh-huh.
But
Uh-huh.
yeah, talking about that Patriots that Patriots Bengals games, when you talk to an AFC North fan that's not a Bengals fan 3 times a week for an hour every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Burns and Berman, come and join if you're not doing anything. You get to know the hatred between those teams there. And when that happened, and when I finally got to talk with Josh on Monday, I can't even describe how happy this kid was. He was just over the moon. It was ridiculous. But I think that Seattle goes in here against this Patriots team and they get the business. We got all three of us on the same wagon with this one. I just don't see this Patriots hype train continuing that much more down the road. But moving over, we're going to Washington, where the Jane Daniels Washington Commanders have their first divisional game of the year against the New York Giants. Thoughts, Nico?
This one is going to be good, but probably for wrong reasons. Two very
Very true.
bad outlooking teams at the moment. But I am going to take New York because I think that this is one of those weeks where Daniel Jones can have a good game. He's not going to be facing a whole lot of pressure. Their offensive line actually did not look that bad last week, and I think that he's going to have more confidence gunning it against the Commanders' defense than against Minnesota last week. And I just think that Washington is a little too one-dimensional on offense right now. It's just a bunch of quick passes and Jaden scrambles. And I think that New York can kind of be all over that. They have some good linebackers, so give me the Giants.
For sure. Swank.
Good explanation. Well, first off, great explanation. But I'm also smiling at Connor because I know there's no chance in hell Connor's picking the Giants to win here. Yeah, look at him. Look at him.
You don't know, Nico. I fucking hate the New York Giants. I hate the New York
Really?
Giants. Explain why when I come around. Swank, keep going.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Giants either. I'm just gonna pick the Commanders out right here. I cannot in good faith pick the Giants here. I think they're the worst team in the NFL. I know the Panthers are there. Nothing about the Giants to me feels like they can win more than like 5 games. And I like Jaden Daniels at home in his first game. So I'm gonna take the Commanders here at home.
Nico, me and you, we've been making videos for about I'd say around when did you exactly start? When was your
I started winter 2020.
Okay, I was March 2020. I was a little bit before then, but I started making NFL videos like around November 2020. So we're in the same range about. But through all of that time that's passed now, which has been a long fucking time, which is ridiculous, I've gotten a lot of hate from Packers fans, obviously. I've gotten a lot of hate from the NFC North. Never in my life have I received as much shit as I've gotten from the fucking New York Giants.
Really?
1 week. 1 week. And they lost to them. I didn't hear the end of that until a month later. It took a month to get Giants fans to get the fuck away from me. And I'm like,
oh, was that 2022 when they were all fired up?
yes.
That like
no, wait.
It had to be their playoff year. Had to be.
Saquon had like that reverse
Yes.
field run.
Yes.
Okay, now I remember.
Think so. I think it was that game. Yes. And it was brutal.
Oh,
and
man.
now I just hold that grudge. I don't hold grudges very often. This is one that I'm fucking holding for forever. Give me the Commanders, Jaden Daniels breakout game. Even though he had a pretty decent game last week. Not the end of the week. He had a pretty decent game, but this is the week where he shows, hey, I'm here to be an NFL quarterback. Let's have some fun.
Agreed. Commanders.
So next up, we go to a big home opener in the NFL after a big week last week. The LA Chargers going into Carolina for the Panthers home opener. Nico, your thoughts?
Oh my God, I just feel so bad for Panthers fans right now. I don't know what you could possibly think to cope with what's going on there right now. Especially after they lose their best player to a season-ending injury in the aftermath of that absolute abomination of a start to the Dave Canales era. And I think the Chargers, like, they're not very talented on offense right now, but at least they're organized. Like, they know what they want to do. They're playing good defense, and you know that they're going to just try to chew the clock and run the ball and get out of there. And I think that's what they're going to be able to do without Derek Brown. Feels like a recipe for a lot of yards on the ground, a lot of time on the field, and a lot of time Bryce Young is not on the field to levy a comeback. So give me the Chargers on the road.
Yes, sir. Swank.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think anybody in the world will be picking the Panthers to win this game. Like Nico said, I mean, you lose your best defensive player, and you already lost by 37 to the damn Saints. And the Saints ain't supposed to be all that. So this new Jim Harbaugh offense and this Jim Harbaugh team will slowly and meticulously pick you apart, and they're going to win the time possession battle, and then they're going to do nothing flashy. Herbert's going to have 1 or 2 touchdowns and have 200 yards, and they will still win by like 20. Like they will run the ball down your throat and take the clock. It's exactly what's going to happen. I got the Chargers here big.
All right, guys, I'm on StubHub right now because I saw a clip about this and I want to confirm.
Oh boy.
Looking at the Panthers home opener ticket prices, I turned on fees on StubHub. I have the cheapest ticket sitting right here right now. Swank, what's your guess? And then Nico.
My guess is that they have to pay you $5.
Nico.
I'm gonna go with 50 cents.
$34 for the top row. But that's with the StubHub fees.
Top row.
That's with the fees on. $34 to get into an NFL game. That is ridiculous. And that's one of the main reasons why I am picking the Chargers right here. Just because.
Hey,
I mean, dude, even if I wasn't a football fan in Carolina, though, $34 to go and watch a game.
yeah, to watch Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
All I'm worried about is
I'd,
the weight.
I'd still go rather spend $34 somewhere else for sure.
Yeah, you could spend that on DoorDash, just hang out at the crib, have red zone.
Yeah, why don't you order yourself 20 wings and get it sent to the crib, and you'll be all right.
Yeah, no, you can have a better time at home.
You're actually right.
That's crazy. For $34 at home, you can have a great day.
Yeah, you can have a fantastic day.
$30 at US Bank, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we head to Dallas. The Cowboys at home after their big win in Cleveland versus Browns. Sorry, Deshaun Watson. I had a flashback to good.
That's too many years. Do not associate.
Flashback to good Deshaun Watson. The New Orleans Saints, who also had a big win last Sunday, going into Dallas against the Cowboys. Nico, what's the call?
I mean, I feel like we just pooped on the Panthers, and now I don't know if I can respect the Saints.
Yeah.
But I mean, I will say their offense looks fun now with the new offensive coordinator. And their defense is always tough, especially on the back end. I think especially with Dallas not having too many weapons on offense, it's going to make this a somewhat tough one. But at the end of the day, I feel like I'm trusting Dak to avoid like a game-costing mistake more than Derek Carr, especially in that type of environment. Like we know what happens to Derek Carr when he gets under pressure. He's not going to be as kept clean as last week. Simple as that. And I don't think the Saints are going to be able to run the ball like they were last week. So I'm going to take Dallas. I mean, they don't really lose these games at home in the noon spot against inferior teams.
Yeah, for sure. Swank.
Yeah, I agree. I'll just piggyback right off Nico here. I'm going to take Dallas at home. I do think this game will be closer than maybe people want to believe. But one thing we do know is that the Cowboys in their own stadium, as of late, don't lose. Like they very rarely lose. And that defense looked fantastic against the Browns like it usually does. I'm going to just take Cowboys plain and simple, and I'm sure Connor will probably agree, and we can move on.
How about them fucking Cowboys? It's really that simple. The Cowboys probably my second favorite team in the National Football League, as Swank knows, and he hates.
Okay.
I love the Dallas Cowboys. I do. Because their fans remind me exactly of Bears fans, except their team is good every year. Their team is actually good. Like we are never good, but our same people, I love them. Yeah, they're gonna go in there and kick the shit out of the Saints. Dak Prescott, he just got paid, and he's showing that he just got paid because he balled out in Cleveland, and I feel like the Cowboys are gonna go out there and do their job again. And the Saints, I feel like the Saints, they might be competitive this year. I can't get a proper read on them because that's how every single team should play the Panthers, how they played. Every single team should. So I can't get that proper read on them yet. I don't think anybody else can either, and we'll figure that out soon. But I am taking the Dallas Cowboys in that one. I believe that's the second game in a row that all three of us have agreed. And I feel like it might be 3 in a row here because we have the Colts going into Green Bay, Packers home opener after Brazil. No Jordan Love, the Jordan Loveless Packers at home. What do you think, Nico?
Oh, I want to stir the pot here and say, the Packers could be fine because it's Matt LaFleur and they've got a good run game, but Malik Willis is so bad. And he is so bad. I cannot believe that this was their backup plan going into the season. I cannot fathom how good the Packers are with starting quarterbacks and how foolish they seem to be working out their backup situations lately. The Colts, they probably could stay in this game a little bit because the Colts defense is banged up and they were already not good against Houston last week. But I don't know. I think the Colts can go in there. We know their run game is going to be good. They can probably hit a few shots against the secondary, knowing how Anthony Richardson was gunning it last week, and will probably clean some things up. I'm going to take the Colts. I can't bet on Malik Willis. I'd feel so stupid if I was wrong.
There we go. Nico takes the Colts. Swank, what's your pick?
Yeah, Nico's putting these up on a tee for me. Completely agree. I cannot in good faith pick Malik Willis to go and win a football game, especially against a team that is competent like the Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson last week had some big time accuracy issues. That's the one main thing I'm worried about going up and playing in Lambeau. I guess they're already up there. I don't know why I said going up there, but
they got to go more up north.
I guess it's slightly up north, but not very far.
Slightly, like 7 hours up north from Indy. I'm from the Midwest, okay?
Yeah, I know you. Yeah, they're not driving. What's the plane ride? Like max an hour? Pipe down over there, bro.
Yeah, probably like
yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna take the Colts here. I think Anthony Richardson is gonna have to use his legs. That's part of his game. And if he's just even a slightest bit more accurate than he was last week, they should have no problem here, especially with the Malik Willis offense. So I'm gonna take the Colts.
Both of your guys' predictions are just music to my ears. It's just music to my ears. Look, I hope that Jordan Love is all right, and he should be back in the next couple weeks. But having the Packers have Malik Willis be their quarterback for 3 to 4 weeks is a blessing thrown into the NFC North's hands, because the Packers, they might lose every single one of these games that Malik Willis is starting, being realistic. And that is a big setback for this Green Bay Packers team, because I don't think that their schedule is that good. I mean, the Titans, they play the Colts, the Titans, the Vikings, then the Rams. If he's out for 4, if he's out for 6 somehow, they play the Cardinals and the Texans. So Jordan Love, he'll probably be back by that Texans game, which then that'll be interesting. I mean, that's 6 weeks. It's supposed to be 3 to 6, somewhere in that range.
Should be good by then, yeah.
But yeah, I am taking the Colts in this one, and maybe the Colts win by 14 plus, and Anthony Richardson just balls out. Next game. Oh, this is an interesting one. The Cleveland Browns, who I've seen all over social media, their fans are not happy. They are
with reason.
They are not happy this week. And they go into Jacksonville. If they have fans, I think they wouldn't be the happiest either after a little bit of a heartbreaker in Miami last week. The Browns going into Jacksonville against the Jaguars. Nico, make the call, brother.
I mean, I'm going to say this. I think the Browns season is already over. Like, I don't know how they can work this out. I think Deshaun Watson is so broken and so deflated and so unmotivated with the contract he has. Like, I don't know, man. And even their offensive line, which has been a strength for years, doesn't look too together now they lost their offensive line coach to the Titans. And the Jags, I really cannot believe they blew that game. Like, they just handed it to us on a silver platter. I mean, that 4th and 1 outside run on their own 30, could not believe that. But at the end of the day, I think that this defense can get after Deshaun Watson, and you know, the Browns defense is definitely beatable, especially through the air. And you know that Trevor's gonna want a bigger day for himself after last week, and they'll probably let him throw it a little more, seeing how leaning on ETN and Bigsby went. So yeah, I've got the Jags. I have no faith in the Browns moving forward.
There we go. Swank.
Love it, Nico. Because before you joined, I said to Connor, I think the Browns season is already over. I know it's week 1. I know it's week 1, but I think the season for them is already over. You don't have Joe Flacco back there anymore. You got Jameis Winston, who's fine. He's a good backup. But Joe Flacco was on a legacy run last year. We all know it. And Jameis Winston's not taking this team to win 10 games and leading you to the playoffs. Deshaun Watson is the epitome of ass. The graphic that Barstool Sports makes. I always think of it. I told Connor about this last week too, where they just make the graphic. It's just a player and it just says ass in big letters. That is Deshaun Watson right now. Legal situation's fucked. His head is in another place. Maybe literally, if you know what I'm saying. I'm taking the freaking Jaguars here.
That was explicit right there.
I'm just saying. I'm taking the Jaguars here. I have no faith in the Cleveland Browns offense. Their defense is so great. Their offense can't do shit. I'm taking the Jags.
Kids, if you listen to that, I apologize. And off of that note, just to apologize for that, I am going to take the Cleveland Browns in this game. To apologize for that. I'm
Really?
the Cleveland Browns. I've been waiting for a moment just where I could take my random upset game of the week, and that is exactly it right there. I didn't like any of them at all, but during the noon slate, you need to have that one upset game, and that's going to be it.
Brother.
Because the one reason defense wins games, defense wins championships. I love the Browns defense.
Give me your score prediction for that real quick.
3-2.
Ha ha ha.
That's my Bears. That's my Bears Texans prediction.
Bet.
Yeah. Oh, here's a fun one, and this might be my lock of the week in this game. So I kind of just gave away who I'm picking. The New York Jets going into Tennessee against the Titans in Nashville. Nico, go ahead.
Oh man, I've this Titans defense could cause some problems. I mean, I know Burns saw it firsthand last week. They are legit, especially on the back end. Like they're gonna try to take Garrett Wilson out of this game, and it's gonna be on guys like Lazard, and they're just tough in all facets. So as much as I want to believe the Jets get back on track, especially defensively, facing a tough offensive line, they're so beatable, very very beatable offensive line in Tennessee. I think that the Titans are gonna force Aaron Rodgers to move a lot more than last week, and I don't know if he's got it. I've got to pick an underdog somewhere. I think the Titans can. This is going to be a turnover heavy game, and I think the Titans are going to do this at home. And there's going to be a lot of talk about the Jets, but they'll probably be fine because then they head back home and their schedule is pretty easy. But I'm going to go the Titans here.
Wow. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. As Connor knows, I was not a believer in the Titans before the season. I'm still not a believer in the Titans right now. I know their defense played great against Chicago. Granted, that's a rookie quarterback's first ever game in the NFL with some younger pieces along with Roma Dunze. And to be honest with you, I just got to go with
interior offensive line in the NFL.
You guys might want to look out for that come this weekend against us. But I'm going to go with the Jets here to get back on track. I think this could be a dogfight for sure, but I don't think the Jets start 0-2. I'm not a huge believer in any of these teams, in all honesty. But I'm going to take the Jets here to get back on track on the road in a somewhat tough game. But I can't pick the Titans in good faith against the Jets. The Jets are just better in all aspects.
Aaron Rodgers, he said to the media, relax, as he said in Green Bay.
Oh,
relax.
God.
And he's going to go out there and he's going to murder this Titans team. He still had the sling, the little flick, the flick. It was still there. And it was like magic, man. And this is why I really wish that Jordan Love sucked, because I had this whole idea that once Rodgers left, it would be the biggest troll ever on TikTok if I just became the biggest Aaron Rodgers fanboy ever the second he left Green Bay. I thought that would be the funniest thing ever, especially if Jordan Love was bad. But of course, the meat writing's crazy right now. But of course, that would never happen. But here's the thing. Rodgers going to go out there and win. Yes, because I have the Jets winning the fucking Super Bowl. I picked them
as my crazy. That's crazy.
Crazy. Yes, I said that it was either going to be the best prediction of my life or the worst, and I'm fine.
This is why I clowned him so hard.
Tie the shoe, but come on, Jets. Let's go in there. Let's do our thing. I also have them winning the AFC. Sorry.
This is why I clowned him so hard last week, saying 14+ against the Niners, because it just makes it even better that it's a Super Bowl pick.
Yeah, no, New York Jets, they go in there and they do their job in Tennessee. I think it should be pretty easy. They'll clean up well. All right. Wow, this is probably the best game that we have gotten to talk about yet in the noon slate. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers going into Detroit against the Lions. This is a very interesting game.
It's a good one.
Yeah. I think Tampa. I think with Tampa, they look better than I expected, and I think Detroit looked a little worse than I expected. I was a little confused by some of their game plan, and it was weird to see Dan Campbell punting on these fourth downs, and it was weird to see them not running it down LA's throats when they showed on that last drive that they so easily could, the way they were playing. I mean, they were just selling out to stop the pass when it got to a certain point. Look, when Tampa went there last year, their receivers were going ham on that line secondary. Is the line secondary that much better this year? I don't know. I'm on the fences with this one. But when it comes down to it, I don't know if Tampa's run defense is good enough. So I'm going to take the Lions. I think they get back to what they do best after realizing that it made the game way scarier than it had to be last week.
There we go. Swank.
Yeah, this is a hard one for me here. Because I really do think the Buccaneers are a solid team all
Yeah.
around. Defense is great. Baker Mayfield plays like that, man. This team is winning 11 games for sure, for sure. That being said, the Lions are my Super Bowl pick. I just think both sides of the ball, they're very, very good. Week 1 provides a lot of things. It also brings a lot of uncoordinated play, sloppy play. Things don't go the right way. That's what week 1's for you, working out the kinks a little bit. I think the Lions, like you said, kind of figure out that run game a little bit more. I think it's a very, very, very close game. I could see it even going to overtime for the second straight week for the Lions. I'm going to take the Lions here in a dogfight. Very, very close game.
I want to take the Bucs so bad because Baker looks so good, and I love Baker Mayfield. Love him. He looks so good. But also the Commander secondary is just absolute dog shit. There's really no other way of putting it. But I'm gonna go with the Detroit Lions in Detroit, and I think that David Montgomery and also Gibbs, but I got a special love for Monty. That Monty's just gonna run all over them because that overtime drive right there was just literally that is how football should be played right there. Just run it straight up the gut.
Absolutely.
10 times in a row. That's how football should be played. It was beautiful. It was awesome. Smash mouth football. I still love Dan Campbell, even though I hate the Lions. So I'll take the Lions here. And then next up, our last noon game, which only 3 o'clock games. I always like when there's 4, but thank God they made the rule that it has to be 3 this year because red zone with only 2 games on in the afternoon slate is brutal. But we have the Raiders going into Baltimore against the Ravens. I think this should be a pretty quick one.
This should be a quick one, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I won't waste anyone's time here either.
He takes the Ravens. Swank, I'm guessing.
Respect, Nico. Give me the Ravens here by a bunch. Everybody's going to be on this as well. Lamar Jackson, 0-1. That doesn't stay like that for long. They're going 1-1, moving into week 3. Going to handle the Raiders here at home.
I'm not even going to say who I'm picking. I think that I'm just going with you guys. All right, we're moving on. Ravens win. We have the Rams going into Arizona against the Cardinals. Our first 3 o'clock game. This is a pretty good game. This is a pretty fun one. Because the Cardinals, I mean, big fight against the Buffalo Bills last week, and now the Rams coming off a bad overtime loss. Not a bad loss, just disappointing loss in overtime against the Lions. Nico, what you got?
Yeah, the Rams showed a lot of fight, and they're dealing with a lot of injuries on the offensive line right now. But as fun as the Cardinals are, I think that defensive line does not look good at all, and I think that LA can probably be fine in a spot like this. I just trust their defense more. I mean, their defense showed competence. I don't see any competence from the Cardinals. It might get into a little bit of a shootout. I could see both teams in the high 20s for sure. But I'm going to take the Rams on the road. I'm surprised to see that the Cardinals are favored.
Excuse me?
Wow.
They are -1.5.
Connor and I just both gave you the same look of shock and
Holy
surprise.
shit, they're favored in this game. No way.
What's the line?
Hold on. I'm double checking this.
Because if they are, I think.
Ow.
Oh, Connor, we're smashing
are.
that.
And the over is only 48.5. I like that over. I like that over.
I think
Oh,
it's the over in the Rams. I think it's the over in the Rams. That's very simple. I
Nico,
just gave my pick right there.
yeah.
But you can swank it as well. Yeah, we are on the Rams. I think that all of America might be on the Rams as well, which gets scary sometimes. But because I hate betting on where all the money is. But yeah, I think I might be betting the Rams in that game.
Yeah,
Basically.
I'm definitely betting the Rams to the spread and just to win both of them. Nico, I don't know if you know, Connor's going to be down in Houston with me this weekend. I'm taking him to the Bears game. I'm not sure if you knew that or not. Bears Texans Sunday Night Football. But we're also going to be doing some bets together, I'm sure. And this will be one of them, 1,000,000%. The Rams at the Cardinals is not favored. That's unbelievable to me. That's Rams all day.
Yeah, that's all day. Nico, will you be making the trip to Houston, or is we talked about
I'm
it?
afraid it is not in the cards with my situation. Unfortunately, I'm bummed for sure.
You got to go.
Hey, but I will. We will certainly. There will certainly be a time and place for sure. For
There'll
sure.
be a time and place. The next time the Bears and the Dolphins play, we will make something happen.
Oh yeah, we got to do something for that.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we got a couple more games here. We have 4 more to be exact. And
But
we're
ours is
starting
last.
Bengals. The Bengals going into Kansas City against the Chiefs. Nico.
Oh my gosh. I mean, those early season Bengals. Is there any reason to have faith in them right now in Kansas City? I mean, we know how they've been against the Chiefs, but it's always been late in the year. Um, I don't even know what to expect from the Bengals right now. I can't in good conscience even flirt with picking them. Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah. Swank.
Yeah, it's a good play. If this was maybe like week 5, I'd
Yeah.
probably go Bengals because I love to take my Bengals against the Chiefs. I do. I'm still a believer in them. Just obviously week 1 for a lot of people, including myself, made it falter a little bit for sure. Um, if they had beaten the Patriots, I'm probably going Bengals here. But like Nico said, I just can't pull the trigger right now. I got to go Chiefs at home.
And I'm going to just follow the bandwagon. I thought about taking the Bengals in an upset. Burrow kind of pops back and the Bengals look like the good old Bengals. And I hope they do in this game. I hope they do because I feel like the AFC North with an actual competent Bengals team that doesn't lose to the New England Patriots is a fun AFC North. And it's a good time. And that's what I want to see here. Hopefully, it's not just a demolition from the Kansas City Chiefs. And yeah, but I am taking the Chiefs in this one. I have no trust in the Bengals right now. And then our last 3 o'clock game, and then we'll go to Monday Night Football and we'll cover Bears Texans last one because that is the
The
big
game. The game.
game
Got to be the game of the year on this podcast.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah. It's
the game
rivalry
of the
week.
year. It is. But we have the Steelers going into Denver against the Broncos, our last 3 o'clock game. Nico.
Oh man, the Broncos offense just does not look very talented as we saw in Seattle. And these are two teams that are trying to play the exact same brand of football, just slow, meticulous, good defenses. And I just think the Steelers are better at everything than the Broncos. And going into Denver,
That was the easiest way to put it, I think. Just they're better at everything.
they play the exact same way, but the Steelers are just better at it, and that Steelers defense is really good. And I'm not a Bo Nix guy, so I think he gets rattled here a little bit. The Steelers can get ahead, they can cause a turnover. Mike Tomlin starts 2-0. Is anyone surprised?
No, not me whatsoever. I got the Steelers over 8.5 wins this year. So I am very
It's
happy.
9-8 all the way. We
Oh,
know
yeah.
it.
No, they'll be
Everyone
9-8, 100%. I'll sweat it out for a little bit the last game of the season, but they will somehow find a way to do it. Swank, what's your pick in this one?
Yeah, you know me. I hate the Broncos. I just hate them in all. I don't like Sean Payton. I don't like Bo Nix. I don't like what they got going on over there. I don't think they're talented. I have toward them second worst team in the AFC. I'm going Steelers here just to get it done. You know this under is going to hit. I don't know what it is. You know this is going to be like what? Maybe 13-7?
The under is 36.
The under is 36.
Holy shit, that's very low. I'm still
Good
probably
line.
going to take it.
Good line.
I'm still probably going to take it. Give me the Steelers here, and that makes us 5 straight games. We've all picked the same player or same team to win.
Yeah, that actually is true looking at this now. Maybe it changes with Monday Night Football with the Falcons going into Philly against the Eagles. Should be an interesting one. Nico.
I'm the Falcons really the Falcons were a big disappointment to me. I was really excited about this team going into the season, and to be honest, I think they just rushed Kirk Cousins out there. I don't know if you guys have seen all the clips in comparison to like how his footwork looked last year. He's like not putting anything into his throws. He's like he's a statue in the pocket.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, they faced the Steelers last week. You know that this Eagles pass rush is going to come for him. And you know that Philly is going to probably be able to push Atlanta around on offense. I think it could be a big night for Saquon. And I until they put Michael Penix in or something, or Kirk just like somehow heals, I don't like anything about what's going on in Atlanta right now. Give me the Eagles.
100%. Swank.
Yeah, very fair. There was a lot of teams that let me down in week 1. I would say the Falcons are one, the Bengals are one, and maybe you could even say the Browns were almost a letdown. And you know what that means in week 2? One of them's got to bounce back. Yeah, no, I'm not picking the Falcons here to bounce back. It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna pick the Eagles. I will say this though, it's only been 1 week. I still believe in Kirk Cousins in that offense. It might take a few weeks to get it going. Completely new system for him. He's still probably healing up, getting back into game speed. I think we're being a little too critical here of Kirk. I agree, he was kind of like a statue week 1, but give him a few more weeks. It's tough. Steelers defense very good on the road in Philly. It's a hard game. They might start 0-2, 0-3. I still believe in Kirk in this offense. I really still do. That being said, I'm going to take the Eagles, but I'm not counting Kirk out yet. Give Kirk a little bit more time. I'm going to take the Eagles.
I agree exactly with you. I love Kirk Cousins. I've been a Kirk Cousins.
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, that's
I've been
really
a
fun
Kirkio
offense to get
supporter
this together.
since I've been a Kirkio supporter since the Michigan State days. Go green.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa.
God, I can't talk.
Kids, cover
I'm
your
on Michigan
ears. What
State,
was
though.
that
Happy
slip
story.
up?
2-0 Spartans. 2-0 Spartans. It's beautiful. But I am going with the Philadelphia Eagles here to keep winning and just stay alive and do their job. Yes, fuck off, Swank. I know that was
That's getting posted.
no, it better not. But we move on to the game of the week. After, hold on, let me see. 1, 2, 3. How many games in a row have we all picked the same team?
I think it's 6.
6
Or was it 7? Lions, Ravens, Rams, Chiefs, Steelers, Eagles. 6.
Yes, 6 games in a row. And now we go to the Stop the BS game of the week. The Texans in Houston.
Let's
As the
go.
Monsters of the Midway fly in from Chicago. Sunday Night Football, under the lights, prime time. Nico, you make your pick first.
Nico first here for sure.
Okay. I've got to set the tone here for one of you. I mean, I'm looking forward to this game for sure. So Connor, just before I say anything here, Rome Odunze is not playing in this game, correct?
I believe no. He's week to week.
Okay.
He's not playing.
I just wanted to make sure I had that right.
Keenan Allen should be playing.
Keenan Allen should be good. I think that these are probably, I mean, these are two good defenses for different reasons. Texans actually looked pretty vulnerable through the air last week, but Odunze is just such a crushing loss for me. I don't know if we're gonna that just brings a whole new dimension to their ability to win through the air. And I don't trust this interior offensive line right now. I mean, it's pretty clear they have a blocking issue in a lot of different ways. And that Texas defensive line is legit. I think it will be a little messy. I think Stroud probably throws a pick at some point here. But man, D'Amico Ryans against Caleb. I'm sorry, Connor. I don't think this is the week where
you're
going to pick the Texans.
Oh man. Who wants to go? Nico, you pick who talks next.
I agree with you, Nico.
I want to hear Burns. I want to hear him fight back.
All right, Connor, your turn. Let him. Let's hear it. This is the moment you've been waiting for how long? 6 months?
I haven't really been waiting for this moment. I've been
waiting
for the Chicago Bears to be back, and they won week 1, but are they back? They're not back yet. They're not. I'm an honest man. The only way that they win this game is if that defense if that defense plays the exact same way they did against the Tennessee Titans, and also you got to find the end zone twice on offense. You got to find it at least twice to win this game, because I think regardless, any way you look at it, it's going to be a low scoring game. And because the Texans, they got a pretty good defense on the other side of the ball as well. They got a pretty decent squad out there, and I think it's going to be. Deep down in my heart, I know the Texans are going to win this game. I know that's just how it's going to go. But I wouldn't have a fucking pulse on here if I didn't pick the Bears. One time every 4 years, basically, that the Bears and Texans play, I wouldn't have a fucking pulse if I didn't pick the Bears to win this game. So, I'll be loud. I'll do my part. Hopefully, Caleb gets going and he has a little game to himself. And then we can start having some fun. But yes, even if the Bears do lose, I mean, they're 6.5-point dogs, as I said, expected. Caleb, just have a good fucking game. Please, just have a good game. Even if we lose, I'll be happy if I walk out of the stadium, but I'm like, man, the Bears offense looked good. So, Swank to you.
Wow, that was a lot more humbled down than I thought he was going to be, in all honesty. I thought he was going to come for my throat, and he did not. Which I respect. You know what, Connor? I respect that. And we'll be there in person. It's going to be a great time. We're very excited. That being said, brother, I'm taking my Texans here. And I don't think it's going to be particularly too close. If I had to give you a score prediction, I'd probably give you around 24-13, 24-14. I think we cover with ease here. Nothing about your offense scared me at all week one. Your offensive interior line, I'm not scared. Caleb Williams, I'm not scared. Remo Dunze's out. I'm sorry. I think this game kind of gets not out of hand, but never really too close at the same time as well. I'm taking my Texans here big time. We've been waiting for this game for months. H-Town made, baby. Give me my Texans here at home. We're gonna have a hell of a time though. And yeah, CJ Stroud gets it done. I can see Stroud throwing a pick. I think your defense plays fine. Our offense just is it's just too good comparative to your offense. We will score more points, and that's how you win a game. I'm taking my Texans here.
The only thing that I'm very confident in with this game is that the Bears are very good heartbreakers. I mean, this is the Houston home. They in Houston, they're fired up. They haven't seen their Texans in person yet. It could give me the vibes of like Brett Favre jersey retirement night on Thanksgiving.
Oh.
It could give me those vibes that the Bears just win a sloppy game and it's just maybe.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I've obviously my family's been season ticket holders since the very first game in 2002 when we beat the Dallas Cowboys, and I've heard that stadium be loud. I don't know if I'm gonna be hearing it as loud as it will be this Sunday night. Home opener, all the hype, all the fans, sold out game, Sunday Night Football, rookie Caleb Williams. I mean, this stadium will be absolutely pumping, and Caleb Williams better be fucking ready because it's gonna be loud. It's gonna be very, very loud.
It'll be a fun time. I'm excited. But Nico, before we wrap up, first off, just want to say thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. And if you want to tell the people your socials about yourself, everything, floor's yours, brother.
I mean, yeah, y'all can find me TikTok, Elite Takes. Twitter and Instagram will be Elite Takes with an underscore. But yeah, I'm pretty much everywhere, just having a lot of fun, talking ball, joking around. That's kind of what I do.
Oh yeah, presidential campaign coming up for the guy pretty soon from last night on Twitter.
Oh
you
yeah.
You need to respond to my question after this. I had a very serious question about.
You have a serious question? Okay, I'll check that out.
I had a very serious question about the Nico campaign.
Okay.
But once again, just want to say thank you for joining us, and thank you for everybody who listened through the whole episode. We really do appreciate it. We'll be back next Wednesday with another special guest. I have no idea who it will be, but we'll figure that out as we go. We'll find somebody to hop on here. Hopefully Nico beats G-Fed's 10-6 record.
Oh, I've got
Nico.
Nico,
we appreciate you coming on, man. It's been good talking ball with you. And I love your Twitter, especially. I always love your Twitter.
I appreciate it. Yeah. It's fun talking. Y'all are great.
It's been a good time. We'll be posting some good stuff today. TikTok and Twitter, I'll give you a shout if you want to repost. But we appreciate you coming on.
Yes. Hey, thank you guys so much for listening. We will see you guys next time. Deuces. See you next Wednesday. Bear down.